Hey everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to add ads to your game in Unity in the year 2022. Unity makes adding ads to your game super simple, so even somebody like me who's never made a mobile game before could figure it out pretty easily. So first in your Unity project, go to your project settings. You're right here. And then go to your services tab, it's already on it. And choose your organization. So for me, I'm going to choose Blue Mask Games. I'm not sure what the other one is there. And we're going to click Create Project ID. This will create a new project ID for you that'll let you use all of Unity's different services here. So here, this looks all good. Make sure you choose whether your app will be targeted towards children or not. So we're going to say no for this one. And we'll hit save. And that should be all set for now. So now go into your Unity dashboard in your browser. So make sure you're on your proper organization here. I'm using my Gavin account for Blue Mask Games. Looks good. And then I also want to make sure that I'm on my proper project as well. So instead of on Golf Manager, I'm going to go to my new one that I created here, which is called Ad Integration. So it should be the same as whatever you call your Unity project. As you can see, mine is called Ad Integration there as well. So from here, we're in the Ad Integration dashboard now. Now we're going to go down to Monetization on the side menu here. And then we're going to click this button here, Enable Ads. So we'll get this little short survey, I guess. So I'm going to start fresh. I don't want to use anything from a different project. And for this one, this might be a little bit different if you're using something like Tapjoy, or there's a couple other different mediation partners. I guess it lists some of them here. You would have to choose that, but I am going to use no mediation. I'm just going to use Unity Ads for this tutorial. And then we'll scroll down a little bit, open up this menu, and in here, if you already have store IDs set up for your app, you can put them in now, but I don't have any right now, so it's also fine to leave them blank. So that's what I'll do. So we click OK, and now we get this page here. So what this page does, this page is pretty important. I guess we could take a tour, but I'll give the tour for you. So these game IDs will be important. So this one will be for iOS and this one will be for Android. So keep this page open because we'll need some of these later on. And then it'll also give you all the different types of ads you can use. So you have interstitial ads here, which are the types of ads that play between levels. So say every 3 levels in a game, this ad would play. We also have rewarded ads that will play whenever the user like clicks a button to earn more currency in game or something like that. But whatever the case is, rewarded ads like have to give something to the player for watching them. And then finally we have banner ads as well. So these are the ones that just display, for example, at the bottom of the screen, in menus, or even in the game, I guess too. They display sometimes, but these are just like the little banners. Okay, so that should be all set up there, but like I said, keep the screen open because we will need it in a second. So now we're going to go back into Unity here. Back in the services menu here, we'll click on ads this time, and we're going to turn ads on. So what this will do is install the advertisement package. Another way to do this would be to go to your package manager and install it that way, but this works pretty much the same as far as I know. So we'll let this load. As a disclaimer, I'm using version 3.5.2 of the advertisement package. We'll also click Enable Test Mode. So this will just not display actual ads in a build you're testing on your phone or something. And then it also has your IDs here, which are also in your Unity dashboard. So that looks all good. We'll close that down. And then make sure you switch to your preferred mobile platform in the build settings here. So we'll go to build settings. I'm going to use Android for this tutorial, but it should work for iOS as well. At the end of it, we'll do a little test to make sure it works with iOS too. But you can use either or for this tutorial and it should be fine. And there we go. We're using Android now and we've got this set up pretty much ready to go. So I made this pretty simple scene. It's a very fun, very real game, as you can see. Definitely going to be released on iOS and Android in the near future. That's a joke, of course, but all it has is a main camera, a canvas to display all this UI here. So yeah, we have the canvas, which has a panel, which holds coin text, title text, and 2 buttons for playing interstitial ads and playing a rewarded ad. Pretty simple setup. And then of course an event system too, and currency manager, which we'll get into later. I'm not going to use this right now. So let's get into the coding part now, the fun part in my opinion. We'll go into scripts. You can see I have the currency manager script here already too. We'll go over it soon. So I'll create a new script here and we'll call it add manager. And then we'll open that up in Visual Studio. First thing we're going to do is at the top here, we're going to do using Unity engine advertisements like that. We'll need to use this a little bit in this tutorial. We'll get rid of the update method because we don't need it. That can go. And then next in the start method, we're going to write advertisement dot initialize, and then initialize needs a game ID, so we'll also have to set up a game ID here. Let's write string game ID equals, and then let's go back to our dashboard here. Let's take the iOS ID. Let's start with the iOS. I said I was going to use Android, and I am, but let's start with the iOS ID here just for demonstration purposes. So that's good, and then we'll just pass in the game ID here and should be all set up to initialize. But like I said earlier, this tutorial is going to be creating a script that should work for both iOS and Android. So how are we going to go about that? Well, we can do something like this. If we do hashtag if unity underscore iOS, and then we do an else here like that, and then add another string game ID. And this time we go back to the dashboard, copy the Android ID, paste that in there, and then to finish it off, we write hashtag endif, and there you go. So what this does is if you're using iOS, it will use this game ID, otherwise it'll use the Android ID. So as you can see, since I'm using Android, this line here is, I guess, lit up. And since I'm not using iOS, this line is grayed out. So that means we're not using it. So that's all good. All right, so for our first ad, let's create a banner. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a public method. Oh, messed up there. Show banner. I type pretty slow, so hopefully it's easy enough for you guys to follow along. And then we're gonna write if advertisement.is ready, and then in here we're gonna go back to our Unity dashboard again, not Discord, and then we're gonna see our banner Android ad here. We're gonna take this ID here, so banner underscore Android, and we'll copy that and then paste it into here. So it's checking if the banner ad is ready, and if it is ready, then we can do advertisement dot banner dot show, and then we can pass in the same thing here, banner underscore Android, and that should show the banner. Another thing we can do is write advertisement dot banner dot set position, and then in here we can do banner position dot, and then you can choose from any of these. I'm going to use bottom center though, so let's just double click that, and that should be all set. So we'll put this in the start method. We'll write show banner, and this should be all set, right? We should be able to see our banner if we load up the game. Let's go try it out. Once our script loads here, let's click play. And we don't see a banner. So what's happening here? The show banner method is called, the advertisement isn't ready, so then this never gets called and the banner never gets shown. So to get around this, we can write a coroutine that will try showing the banner until it's ready. So to do that, let's do a private enumerator. And let's call it try show banner. And in here, we'll write a yield return new wait for seconds, and let's just do 1. And then let's write show banner again. And then to call this in show banner, if the advertisement isn't ready, we'll do an else here. And then we'll write start coroutine with try show banner and the brackets there. What this will do is anytime that the advertisement isn't ready, it will call the coroutine here. And then what the coroutine will do is every second it will try show banner again. And if it's still not ready, it'll start again and again until it's ready. And then this part will get called and the advertisement will actually show. So let's go try it out. Let's click play again. And this time we can see that the banner doesn't show up because I probably forgot something else. The one important thing to do too is to make sure that you add your ad manager to something in the scene so that it actually gets called. So let's try that one more time just to see if it'll work this time. And there we go. Now we see our banner at the bottom. So it took a little bit of a second, like a quick second there to show up, but it does eventually show up because of our coroutine that keeps trying to show it until it is ready and then actually shows it. So there we go. That's our banner setup. We can also write a quick hide banner method. So we'll do public void hide banner. Then we'll just do advertisement dot banner dot hide. So I just wrote these couple of lines in the update method here so that if I hit space, it will hide the banner just to test it out. Let's click play back in our scene. Our banner shows and then we click space and it's gone. Perfect. But we also want to make this work for iOS as well. This only works for Android right now. So what we're going to do is use the same method we used up here for the making sure the game ID is for the right platform. So I'm just going to actually copy this. I don't know if I would recommend this or not for, you know, everyday use, but I'm going to do it here. Just be careful with it. I know I've definitely messed up stuff copying and pasting before, so just keep an eye out. We'll get rid of the string game IDs here. We don't need those anymore. And then we'll copy this line of code and put it in the else block. And then we'll paste it again in the iOS block as well. I think this is the part where at least I would be most likely to mess up, is you need to make sure that you switch to your iOS banner ID for the iOS section. So let's copy that there. Go back into here and replace the Android calls with iOS calls. And that should be all set for iOS. So the next ad we're going to make is an interstitial ad. So we'll write public void show interstitial. Hope I spelled that right. And this one's actually really easy. So what we're going to do is the same thing as before. We'll do advertisement. I could spell that one right. There we go. Advertisement is ready. And then this time we'll use our interstitial ad ID. So we'll copy this one here, interstitial _ Android. Paste that in. And then we're going to do advertisement. Hard word to spell for sure. .show. And then we're just going to put in our interstitial Android there as well. And that's about it for setting that one up. So let's go check it out in scene. What I'm going to do is go to our play interstitial ad button here, and I'm going to add that method to the on click. So when we click this button, an ad should show up. And let's run our game and try it out. So you can see our banner's still working there. Let's click play interstitial. And here's our ad. So with interstitial ads, they're the skippable type of ads. You'll see the skip button here, as well as the close button here too. So we'll just click skip and the ad goes away. So it seems to be working perfectly. Let's go back into our script real quick and make sure that we account for iOS as well here. So we're going to do another risky copy and paste. I think that's part of programming though. First thing I'm going to do is make sure I get rid of the old stuff, put in the new, and then again, make sure you switch to your iOS interstitial ID, interstitial _ iOS for me. and make sure you replace the Android ones with that. Looks like that should be all ready to go. And now for the last type of ad. This is the fun one in my opinion. It takes a little bit more work to get ready, but it's also fun to play around with. There's lots of things you can do with it. And of course, this is the rewarded ad. So what we're gonna do is write a new method called public void show rewarded. That looks about right. And then the basic setup of it is pretty much exactly the same as the interstitial ads. So I'll write advertisement. Eventually I'll spell it right on the first try. Is ready, and this time we'll go back into our dashboard here and take the rewarded ID. So in my case, rewarded _ Android. We'll paste that in there. And then advertisement show, and then the same ID. So this should just work, right? Let's go try it out. We'll do the same thing we did with the interstitial ad method, and we'll add it to the play rewarded ad this time. I have my currency manager set up in there, but we're not going to do that. We're going to use our ad manager and call the show rewarded method. Let's try that out. Let's click the button, and there's our rewarded ad. So you can see this one isn't skippable. You have to watch this one, and there is the close button still there though, so we can get out of it. So that looks like it works right, but like I said earlier, rewarded ads have to reward the player with something as well, so we have to still set that up. So this is where it gets a little bit more, I guess, complicated. Not too bad though. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna add the Unity Ads listener interface here, and then to implement the methods that this requires, what you can do is just go to quick actions here and then implement interface. This will add 4 new methods at the bottom here on Unity Ads ready, Unity Ads did error, Unity Ads did start, and Unity Ads did finish. These first 3 we're not going to use, so I'm just going to get rid of these throws so that we don't get any errors. But the last one we are going to use. This one will be important. So in here, this will happen, or this will get called when an ad finishes. So what we're going to do is, to make sure it's a rewarded ad, we're going to do if placement ID equals, and then we'll use our rewarded Android here, so we make sure that's a rewarded ad that's finishing. I think I copied the parentheses there too, yeah, at least one of them. And we need to make sure that the show result equals show result dot finished, just to make sure that the ad did actually finish and didn't error or something. Or ideally we want this to be dynamic, so we need to have a way to call any method that we want in here. How are we going to do that? So the way I am going to set it up, there's multiple ways to do this. I've seen other ways done in other tutorials, but the way I'm going to do it is using delegates. So what I'm going to do is make a new public delegate void reward delegate. And then we're also going to make an instance of it called public reward delegate, and let's call this reward method. There we go. And then what we're going to do in our show rewarded ad now is we're going to take in a parameter, and this will be a reward delegate parameter. Let's just call it method. And then when this method gets called, we're going to make our reward method equal to the method that gets passed in. But basically, when you use this method, you'll pass in another method that gets assigned to this delegate variable here. And then down here, we can just call reward method as a method, and it'll use whatever method you passed in here. As a final step, we need to go back up here, add another line, our start method called advertisement.add listener, and then just pass in this. This will just make sure that this script knows when things like an ad finishes happen or ads start or any of these. So that should be all set. So this is where the other script I made, the currency manager on this currency manager object here, is going to come in. And let's open up the currency manager here just to see what I have in it. So it's pretty basic. It has a reference to the ad manager, and then it has just an int that will store the number of coins, and a text to display the number of coins. So we have two methods here. One is going to be public void reward coins. This will actually be communicating with the ad manager, calling the show rewarded method, and passing in this other method I have called add coins, which adds 10 to the coins and updates the text. So pretty basic. But this add coins method will get passed into the ad manager. It'll get set as our reward method, and then our reward method gets called on ads finish. So might have lost some people there. I might have lost myself there too, honestly, but how about we go see if it works or not. Turn our currency manager back on again, add the script back in there. Make sure we pass in everything we need. So we need the ad manager there, and we're going to pass in the coin text too. And then as a final step, we're going to change the method on the player rewarded ad button to the currency manager, and then we're going to use the reward coins button. So now this should reward coins when we press this. Let's go try it out. So we'll click player rewarded. Our rewarded ad still shows up, same as before. No skip button, just to close. Let's close it down, and now we have 10 coins. Perfect. Now I'm just going to go back in, make sure that my rewarded ad is set up for iOS as well. So we'll do one final dangerous copy and paste here. Make sure we get rid of the old stuff. Oh, missed a curly bracket there too. The reward method actually can stay outside of it too, so we'll just put this at the top above it. That'll be the same for either platform. Fix the spacing a little bit there. Copy this again, paste this here. Make sure we get our rewarded iOS ID. Place both of these. And then as another extra step for the rewarded ad, we also have to go down here and make sure that it's also checking if the placement ID is the iOS rewarded ID. And we'll just place some brackets around this so it checks both of these together. And there we go. Should be all set up for iOS now as well. So like I said, let's do a quick switch over to iOS. Now that we've tested out all of our Android ads, let's make sure that the iOS ones will be working as well. Let's switch our platform. It'll reload our scripts here. Should be all good though. Let's click the play button and see if this works for iOS too. So you can see our banner still shows up. Let's try playing an interstitial ad. Interstitial ads still shows up. We've got the skip button, the close button. Let's try a rewarded ad too. Rewarded ad shows up, no skip button, just close. And now we've got 10 coins as well. So everything is working perfectly. So that'll be it for this tutorial. If you liked what you saw, make sure you subscribe. If there's any other tutorials you'd like me to do, let me know in the comments. I've been working on my own mobile game, the first one I've ever done. So anything that interests me as I'm working through that, I might make a tutorial on. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But yeah, I hope this helped. If you have any questions, also let me know in the comments too. I'll be trying to answer any that come up. I know some of the delegate stuff can be kind of confusing, even for me still. But I will do my best to help anybody out that needs it. But that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.